Imagine this. You're at your partner's work event that you moved to a new country for. As usual, you're being introduced as their spouse. And even though you've heard a version of that sentence countless times before you moved here, now it stings. So why does it land so differently here? I mean, you've been at your partner's work events before in their friends group or other social circles. And of course, for context reasons, you're addressed as their partner so that the members of that group understand who's with who. Normal, nothing we ever even think about. Yet the moment you followed your partner for their work abroad, this exact same phrase feels completely different. Why? And why does it feel so embarrassing to even admit? You see, back home, you were also introduced as their wife or husband, but in contrast with a newly immigrated couple, this was only one line among many. You had several other labels, if you will, parts of you that people knew you for. You had a job people knew you by, a friend group that had nothing to do with your partner, maybe a sister who's called you by your first name since you were 6. And perhaps on Saturday, your partner would be the one to be introduced as the spouse or the plus one. So in that context, it was only one thread in a much bigger fabric. Abroad, the fabric is gone. And this doesn't stop at the introduction line either. Look at your actual calendar. Who invites you anywhere? Especially in the beginning, almost every name on it traces back to their work, their colleagues, their network. There's no Saturday version of your week where you're the known quantity and they're the plus one. Every room you're standing in now exists because of their role. That's the reason you're there after all. So every introduction runs through them because there's nothing left for it to run through instead. So even if you enjoy wearing the title of being their spouse or partner, having that as your only thread and not the bigger fabric is actually not just inconvenient, it's destabilizing. You see, people thrive on having several contexts. The more separate places you draw your sense of standing from, the more resilient you are when one of them takes a hit. A bad week at work doesn't flatten you if you're still solid with your friends, still yourself at the gym, still someone's daughter who gets called for no reason at all. But take away all of those but one, keep only one thread of the fabric, and every bit of tension pulls on that single string. And that's what actually changed. Of course, the introduction sentence itself is obviously not the problem, yet it's the only thread that's available right now. As if you're only known for, maybe even reduced to, that single label. After all, when there's only one mirror left in the room, after a while, you start believing what it shows you. And you know why almost nobody says any of this out loud? I think it's this. I lost my career gets sympathy. It sounds substantial, sacrificial even. But it bothers me that I get introduced as their spouse. Sounds weird and irrelevant by comparison. It may even make your spouse raise an eyebrow, wondering if you're no longer comfortable with the label itself. And how would you explain something that never stung before? So we don't talk about it. We don't say it out loud. People swallow it. Yet we know very well that things that get swallowed like this don't typically resolve. They sit there, recalibrating under the surface and influencing how you walk into every room after that. This isn't vanity. It's not you being dramatic or ungrateful or small. You're not too sensitive or any of those things. It's that you've got one thread doing the work of 5. By the way, my name is Ava. If this is the first time that someone's put a name to this for you, that is exactly what this channel is for. So tell me in the comments, what's your version of No Saturday? And follow along so the next thing that needs naming finds you when it's ready. Because everyone deserves to live life fully, no matter where in the world you are or for how long.